Hello Pokemon fans, this is ProPokeNoob back today to bring you another battle. If you are staring at the screen right now, you will notice, ladies and gentlemen, is this a new team? Oh my goodness, the first new team of 2013. Yes, I have gotten around to battling a little bit, and I was just testing some teams out, and this one happened to be a very good battle. Now, I'm going to say good in a weird way. The next few battles you're going to see on my channel, I'm going to admittedly put out there, I make a lot of mistakes. Now, this is because I'm very rusty, and, you know, there are a lot of afterthought plays that I make, you know, turn later you regret doing. You're like, wow, what am I doing? Why am I making mistakes like this? But, there are going to be a few mistakes, but I'm going to treat these as more educational videos. I mean, they're not all going to be terrible, awesome, hacksy stuff, but, you know, it gives a lot of opportunity for me to actually do a lot more educational. I haven't done one of those in a while, so this one's going to be a lot of detail. It's going to be a long intro. I will leave a time if you're not interested in any logistics behind the team or looking at my opponent's team or anything like that. You can just skip straight to the battle, but that's going to be equally detailed, so just warning you now. Anyways, quickly go through my team. I have a physically defensive Rocky Helmet Drudagon. I have a Life Orb offensive Gallade, Choice Scarf Chinchino, Pitaya Berry Unburden with Substitute Excelgor. This thing is really fun. I have yet to have it pulled off, but it sounds like a really freaking good idea. Especially defensive, Slow King, and then obviously max H. Well, not max HP, but mostly HP, but max attack, Adamant. Eviolite, Rhydon. Yes, those are. I don't know why that took me forever to say. But anyways, I just basically put this team around. I wanted to make a Drudagon, and I wanted to make a Chinchino and just try it out in RU. So, kind of built the team, trying to make it a little synergetic. I don't know if it's the best team ever built, but looking at my opponent's team, it's the main things that I was really worried about, because again, it's been a while since I've actually been in the RU meta. I generally know what Rotom can do. I know what Clank usually does. Nidoqueen usually trips me up a little bit. I'm not sure if it's going to be offensive or defensive. I usually assume they're defensive to begin with, but watching battles just on YouTube, it looks like a lot of them are offensive now with Life Orb. Quillfish is going to be a pain in the butt because I don't really have much to hit it with. I'm going to have to preserve Gallade, especially for this team, because it looks like Gallade actually hits actually all 6 of them for super effective damage, which is going to make my first play look really stupid. Oh dear. Liepard is just Liepard. It's got its standard Parafusion, Foul Play, Screw With You set, and of course Omastar is going to be a pain. Now, at first, I'm going to say I didn't realize that this could potentially be a manual rain team. I didn't even think of that to begin with. I actually thought this was a defensive Omastar. So keeping that in mind, in the ways it leads, I figured I'm just going to lead off with Chinchino to try and get switch initiative with the U-turn because, I mean, if he wants to do anything defensive, I'm just going to, you know, U-turn on it and go into the appropriate counter. Now, he sends a Nidoqueen. I don't want to risk this thing being offensive, so I'm actually going to go into Gallade. This is a really stupid move, by the way, because as you can see, it turns out to be Life Orb, and it does a lot of damage to Gallade. And if you remember what I just said, Gallade is extremely important for taking out his entire team. And he has Life Orb, so now he's reduced to maybe taking out 3 Pokemon before he kills off himself. So having made this mistake, I'm going to have to switch out my Slow King, which is especially defensive, hopefully take a decent hit. It's still a big chunk, but I mean, it's Nidoqueen, it's a giant threat in RU, it does a lot of damage. He's going to go for the T-Bolt, luckily he doesn't take me out. I'm going to go for the Scald, and I get the crit. Not sure if that mattered, it probably does since I am especially defensive, but you know what, that's just the Nidoqueen out of the way, thank goodness. Otherwise, this would have been a completely different battle. Now he sends in the Clank. I'm used to these things going for Shift Gear and Gear Grind, stuff like that. He actually ends up going for the Wild Charge. I haven't seen Wild Charge very often, but I think that came with Dream World. I don't remember. But he's going to switch into Quillfish. I believe I could have predicted this and gone for the Earthquake, but I didn't want to risk the Rotom coming in, just predicting that. I don't know why it would come in, but frankly, you know, if it's a defensive Rotom, it could have gone for Will-O-Wisp or stuff like that. But I'm just going to switch to the Slow King, which is the best thing to take on this Quillfish. At this point, we are going to exchange Thunder Waves, which is not too big of a deal because Slow King is not really meant for his speed, hence the name Slow King. But it will be decent on the Quillfish since it does actually have a decent speed for a wall. Now, funny because it's a wasted turn since we both get Parahax at this point. But I'm still worried about the fact that this thing had Wild Charge. I didn't know if it was actually a different variant on the Clank or anything like that, but I'm going to switch out because I realize this is going to go nowhere, and I'm going to go to my Drudagon. Now, Drudagon has a couple of purposes here. If he wants to go for T-Wave, I am a Rest-Talking Hone Claws Dragon Tail set, so I can easily rest off the paralysis. So he can go for the T-Wave, I'll be protected from toxic or anything like that. Now, when I Dragon Tail, I'll bring out his Liepard. Not too big of a deal. He could go for Foul Play and hurt me a little bit, but it will hurt him a lot. But he actually ends up going for the Rain Dance. This is when I realize, dang it, this is a manual Rain team. And I was kind of hoping not to pull out the Omastar, and it ends up I pull out the Klinklang. So not too bad. Now here is the next mistake. Knowing that I have Rocky Helmet and Rough Skin, I switch out into this thing predicting I don't know what. I still thought this thing would go for Substitute and Shift Gear and stuff like that. He just ends up going for Gear Grind, and then it clicks into my mind, what am I doing? Send Druddigon back in to take hits from this thing. This is how rusty I am, ladies and gentlemen. Terrible. But there's a special thing, the reason why I wanted to upload this battle. Watch this insight. Okay, goes for a Gear Grind. He takes Rough Skin damage, he takes Rocky Helmet damage. Goes for another attack, takes Rough Skin damage, Rocky Helmet damage, and he takes Life Orb damage. If you would like to count, he just went down, what, 60, 70%? Maybe like 76 or 66% just from Rocky Helmet, Rough Skin, and Life Orb. Now, knowing this information, what I'm going to do is just stay in, and I know he can't take me out because the first Gear Grind is going to kill him from Rocky Helmet and Rough Skin, and I'm going to be able to hopefully go for the rest, get my health back. Unfortunately, the game does not want to give me that and gives me a Parahax, which really sucks, because it would have made this game a tiny bit easier for me to stand a chance in. But now he sends the Omastar. I did not want this thing coming in and destroying me, but you know what? I needed to safe switch into my Slowking. Now, I know these things carry HP Grass because of things like Quagsire and Slowking, but I also know from past experience that HP Grass cannot take me out from this range. They could take about 2 or 3 hits at this range. And I have Regenerator, so he doesn't stand a lot of a chance. So he's going to go into Rotom. I believe I just go for the... I think I went for the T-Wave, predicting the switch, or just to get it on the Omastar, which would be useful later on for any other Pokemon to come in, such as Gallade. But fortunately, I get Parallax. I'm going to have to switch out of here. I'm fearing the electric move. I'm going to go into Rhydon, kind of as both death fodder and just a scout to see what type he is. He actually goes for Thunder now. That's actually really powerful. A little gimmicky if you think about it on a manual rain team if the rain is not up. But I mean, he has enough Pokemon that can reliably put up the rain, so I'm not doubting it. He's going to go for Will-O-Wisp, though. I was right. He does have that tricky Will-O-Wisp, which is going to cut Rhydon's attack. But as you can see, I get the 5 hits in exchange for a burn, which is not too big of a deal. I just really want to get him death fodder so I can send someone in safely and not get hit hard. He's going to actually set up the Rain Dance, which I did not expect, as I just go for the Dragon Tail. And of course, who do I bring in? The good old mighty Omastar. And this sucks. So, Rhydon's going to die, which means at least I get to switch in safely. But I mean, I would have rathered him take more Life Orb damage by attacking Rhydon. But I mean, you can't really control what happened there with the Will-O-Wisp and stuff like that. But now, I'm going to send out Slowking. Still know he can't take me out. I know he's not going to stay in to try and hurt me, so I'm going to go for the T-Wave. Once again, it's going to hit everything. If he wants to send in Quillfish, it really just means it's a dead turn. I won't be fearing that too much. I do catch this Rotom on the switch, which is nice. Now, this is actually information I did not know, and I'm pretty sure this only applies when rain is up. But he's going to go for the Thunder. It's not going to take me out, which is good information, even as this thing is Choice Scarf without the same power. But what's even cooler is Scald actually takes it out from this range. So I'm guessing that Rain Boost really does help take it out. But I mean, you know what? Slowking's getting kills for especially defensive wall. He does a lot of work in RU. It's very impressive. But now we're not going to take it so slow and steady as the swift swimming son of a gun comes out. I do want to switch out here to get Regenerator because I'm pretty sure he's going to go for HP Grass. So what I'm actually going to do is switch into Exceligor. And what I was kind of hoping he would do is it do enough damage so that Pataya Berry would activate. He actually gets the crit, but he doesn't bring me to 25% or less, which would allow Pataya Berry to activate, which gives me the +1 special attack, and as a result of me using my item, I get double the speed, which essentially outspeeds everything, almost everything in the game, plus a +1 special attack on a base 100 special attack bug. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. He's just going to die. Not too big of a deal. The rain is gone, which means Scarfy, the Scarf Gingino, can come in and actually start doing some work. Bullet Seed is the best option. I don't know if you want to say him, but you know what? Hits this thing decently. The Intimidate was pretty obvious, and so was the Quillfish switch, but I mean, I'm not over-predicting. However, I do get a crit. Once again, just, you know, same thing as the Will-O-Wisp. Just getting the revenge off the fact you're cutting my attack. Stop it. But anyways, here, okay. Now, before I make the move, I have to explain what was going through my head. It's going to sound super stupid, and you're going to probably unsubscribe as a result of this. I switch out. Now, don't don't all you rage at this point, okay? I'm going to switch out. You know what it was? I counted. I look, okay, 7% per hit, 5% to 7% per hit. I'm not going to be able to take out the Quillfish. I'm going to take a lot of damage from either a Waterfall or whatever he wants to do. Maybe he'll set up a Destiny Bond and I'll be put in a different position where I'm going to be Parahax. I was actually really fearing T-Wave. I just remember that now. I was fearing I wouldn't kill him. He would go for the Thunder Wave, and then my Scarfer would be useless. Now, this looked good, and it made sense that he could have gone for T-Wave. And I mean, I would be risking a lot staying in and not killing him. Having said that, sending in Slowking is also good. But I could have left myself up to a lot of spike fodder. And what I should have did was switched out immediately here. Because for some reason I thought Grass Knot would do a lot of damage. This is a Quillfish. So... oh my goodness, I don't know what was going through my head. So at this point I'm like, oh crud, I should probably get this thing in before 3 layers of spikes go up and I die. And as a result, he's going to punish me for that, and he goes straight for the Poison Jab and gets the Poison Hacks. Now, what this does means I'm going to have to go for Tail Slap. I'm pretty sure he's not going to send an Omastar without Rain, but I do know Tail Slap should take it out just based on the damage of Bullet Seed, but it is going to cost me a Choice Scarfer. Now, I figured I could probably still make it without Choice Scarfer, but what it does mean is he's able to send in his Liepard and most likely get up a Prankster Rain Dance. Actually, definitely get up a Prankster Rain Dance. So, Slowking is going to be my Dark Horse, is going to be the horse that's going to have to come in, take him down. Even though he's not a horse, he's a guy with a what's his name, Shelter on his head. But he's going to set up the rain. I get Parahax. Big deal? Yes, it is, because he does get a Foul Play off, which, you know, lowers my survivability of HP Grasses. Now, I didn't actually know how much HP Grass did, but I do know it doesn't do a lot of damage to take me out. So I'm kind of hoping I'm going to live this, because he does have the Life Orb. So as you can see, he does not take me out with the HP Grass, which is nice. I go for the Grass Knot, I miss. Now, it gets a little intense here, because I know he most likely has the odd 1 HP that he's going to live with after this attack. So, he's going to go for the Surf in case I wanted to do some Gallade switching shenanigans to bring him down. But, he's going to take me out. He's going to live with 1 HP. Pause it again. I told you, this is going to be a long upload. Deal with it. So, as you may or may not remember, I sent in my Gallade and stated that my Gallade had super effective attacks against all 6 of his Pokemon. I have Close Combat, Swords Dance, and Psycho Cut. Now, if you notice, that would hit 5 of his super effective Pokemon. Or hit his Pokemon, 5 of his Pokemon for super effective damage. There we go. Rotom, however, does not get hit by super effective damage. But I have one move that will hit him for super effective damage in the form of Shadow Sneak, which will actually outspeed through priority means, take out the Omastar, and leave me with 4% HP and the win. That was an excellent match, Fish Pants. Comment, rate, and subscribe, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this battle. This is the first narration I've done in like a week and a half. Holy cow, it's been a while. And it's the first new team. I understand I made really bad plays, and it probably made me look really bad as a battler. But you know what? For coming back after a month or two and not really keeping up with meta and just being actually the first match that I had with this team, I'd say I did fairly decently. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. I promise you there are more teams coming out soon, and as well as more uploads and lots more fun. If you guys want more educational stuff, I will definitely be bringing it to you guys. There'll be a lot more serious narrations, putting a lot of thought process into it. Since it is getting a little bit mundane of a generation, you might as well put a lot more learning into it so you guys can go out there and crush more noobs. That's just not ProPokeNoob. You can't crush me. It's impossible. My Magikarp team is OP, people. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Until then, have an excellent day. Peace.